a tenanted property and who needs to give that notice and information through to the tenant and timeframes and all those sorts of things. So when a rental property is being sold, it's been listed for sale and photos and marketing access is needed, and obviously access then needs to be arranged and negotiated to show the property to interested purchasers. It's generally the managing agent who issues the notice to the tenant. Now, if we look at the legislation it's Section 56 of the Residential Tenancies Act, the language spells out that relationship. A landlord must give the tenant written notice. Now, it's not a vendor, it's not the owner, it says the landlord. So that means whoever is acting for the landlord. Now, we can pull that out. The landlord is the principal in the deal, and that's the legal word that we use. And that means the principal is the owner of the property. So, but general practice is that the managing agent holds that tenancy relationship and is therefore usually responsible for ensuring notices are lawful and compliant. Now, whichever agent is sending those notifications out, they need to look at, is the selling agent at a different agency from the managing agent? So if they were, it would be prudent for that selling agent to actually send a notice out to the tenant, letting them know that the property will be on the market, that they'll be needing access in 14 days' time, and that they want to negotiate all of those sorts of things with them. Obviously, you would also send a copy of that to the managing agent via email. So they know what you've done. They also need to issue that as the managing agent, but I would not let it go because, it's telling the tenant there's a notification to sell. It's very important that that notification is correct, that it gives the full 14 days notice, because incorrect notices they truly equal unlawful entry, privacy breaches, disputes that just can derail a sale. So it needs to be right. Most disputes around selling tenanted properties aren't about the sale at all. They're about access, about notice, about privacy. So remember that gaining access for photos, inspections of the property for potential purchasers is not permitted without consent from the tenant. So obviously in situations such as emergencies, urgent repairs, welfare concerns, abandonment of the property, there is legislative rights for entry without consent. Photography inspections aren't part of that authority to enter without consent. So you need to follow what Section 56 is actually telling us that we have to do. Now, just a little bit to the side here, because I do love a good peripheral. Whilst we're on the topic of photography and tenanted properties, remember that Section 55A of the Residential Tenancies Act, it reminds us that an agent cannot publish photographs or videos of residential premises without the tenant's consent. Obviously, they can't unreasonably withhold that, but you need to talk to them about, let's make sure that none of your personal items, your photographs, your personal decorative items around the property are on show. So, it makes it more, or you talk to them about, we can take the photos and we can then, remove all your furniture and put in AI furniture and make sure you write that on there, on the ad or on the photographs that it is AI furniture in there. You can go that way, but just be careful. There's entry issues, there's photograph issues. There's so much to be, concerned about when you're actually selling a property that is being tenanted. So make sure you get that right.